Hello there and welcome to a new video where today we're going to be doing, once again, checking back in on the Survivor 46 power rankings for episode number 9. We're really getting through these episodes, and what an episode it was. Another very good episode, good TV, crazy gameplay. We're kind of getting Gabon vibes from this season, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm loving it. Unfortunately I didn't make a video last week, but I did post my rankings on the community tab. You should be able to see them, but you didn't miss too much, and they haven't changed drastically. But yeah, we'll get right into it with the first ranking. But first, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the videos, and let me know if there's any other kind of content you'd like to see me do. Alright, let's go. Okay, and this week's boot, of course, was Hunter, Survivor MacGyver 2.0, Joe 2.0, another player that doesn't have a strategic bone in his body, I think. Unfortunately, anyway, you know, he brought stuff with the challenges, and it was cool that he had an idol, but he really fumbled the bag here in this episode. He looked so paranoid. It was just such a misplay. If you're so paranoid, you have to play that idol. You can't tell everyone about your idol and then not play it, because I believe what happened is, as soon as he told them about the idol, all it did was let the other players split the vote between him and Q, which then would have made his idol play less effective. As soon as Tevin went home, it didn't look good for him. He maybe should have played an idol for him last week, but he definitely should have played it this week. His game had sort of fallen apart though, same with Q, but yeah, it wasn't looking good. Did have him as a winner contender, but mainly just because of the fact that he might win his way to the end, but that strategy just doesn't work anymore, unfortunately, for players like that. You gotta have the social game, and unfortunately, I just don't think he had the social game needed. Last week's episode truly killed most of his winner potential, unfortunately, and then this episode just piled on top of that. But, you know, it was a good pile of episodes. Yeah, he kind of just flamed out as soon as it got to the merge, really. I think we can all agree that Q is fantastic TV, and whoever found him on the casting team deserves a huge raise, because this man is delivering every single episode. But this is more about the gameplay, and we gotta say, he is struggling. He was playing a decent game. It was probably not a game that would work in this era of Survivor, and unfortunately for him, he had that whole blow up at Tribal, which he was saying he wanted to quit, and I think as soon as that happened, any little 0.1% chance of him winning the game was thrown out of the window. I even don't think he wins if the final three is him, Liz, and Venus. Or I think for him to win this game now, it would be an absolute miracle. We just know that he isn't going to win the season. But again, I appreciate everything he's been bringing, because I've enjoyed it a lot. Now, I think Liz went from having a really good episode last week to having one of the worst episodes this week. I really don't understand her devastation about the fact that Q overshadowed her move last Tribal, when for me, I feel like that's a thing that is helping her. You know, we've seen people in the new era, they make a big move, they get a move on their resume, and they swiftly get taken out right after. She made the move that she wanted, she got the hit, and someone took all of the heat from that tribal council instead of her. It just seems like the perfect equation. It seems like something that I would personally be extremely happy about. I don't really understand that, and I think we've seen that she's losing it a bit. The food is probably getting to her a lot. She said she wanted to target Q, which I don't agree with. I think Q is now potentially one of the people she should be looking to go to the end with if she wants a chance to win the game. I'm not completely out on her chances to win, but I just think that the edit, she's not had enough of an edit to win this season. I know it's not always about the edit, but I truly believe that they wouldn't give their winner this few confessionals, and I do think she's being set up for a potential downfall in the near future. But yeah, a solid episode from Liz last week. However, this week just sort of put her winner chances back into the grave a bit. Now, Venus is another case of I'm really confused about her edit, because I feel like at the start it was very undermining of her gameplay, and we saw she got things so wrong lots of times. But in recent weeks, she's actually shown to be somewhat solid strategically when given the social capital to actually make moves. I still don't think she's going to be the winner of the season, but I think she's looking a bit more solid at least, and maybe she'll have a bit more respect. However, I still believe, her trying to claim all these moves will come back to bite her, because if she sits at a final tribal council and tries to claim these moves, you know exactly what's going to happen. Tevin's going to be like, no, and then Liz will be like, no, all these people are going to be claiming the moves that she think are hers. So I don't think it looks good for her still, even though it has been better in recent weeks. I still don't feel too good about her winner odds, but she's had a good turn recently, and I've certainly been enjoying her a lot more in the last few episodes. We've seen it twice now with Soda and Hunter leaving, and she's like clearly just faking like, oh, you played such a good game, my guy. This is like, it's cringe. Maybe she's being real, but it just screams fake to me. I don't know. We'll see. I'd be very interested to see her at a final tribal council, and I wouldn't be too shocked if that's where the season ended up. But not sure she has the votes to win. Maria, we still haven't really got enough from her. In recent weeks, it's still mainly been Charlie we're hearing from. However, we are getting the motion that she wants to make a big move, and she wants that move to be Tiffany. Her and Charlie seem to be in a very good spot in the middle, but I do believe that the Sega 3 will be clocked eventually, and one of them will get the boot. I would not be shocked if that is Maria. If maybe she goes for Tiffany, the idol blows back, and Maria is the one voted out, or something like that. We do know that she wants to get this big move on her resume, but will she get it? I'm not too sure, because I could definitely see Tiffany outlasting Maria in the season. I do believe she's been playing a solid game though, and especially this week, her and Charlie again in the middle of everything. Her relationship with Charlie is definitely the best group in the game, and I wouldn't be shocked to see them keep going further. I said it in my merge rankings that I did think that they would go far together, and that is exactly what we're seeing. They seem to be the only pair of number ones that aren't turning on each other and trying to get each other voted out. So let's see if that actually works out for her. Hopefully it does. Now we got Ben coming in at number 4, which is a bit of a rise for him this week. I think it's more so about the people around him than what he's done specifically, but I think he's got a bit more content lately. He's still getting a very consistent edit. It's not the most, it's not the biggest edit out of everyone, but he is still, making an impression every week on the episode, which, Survivor's reminding us that he's there, and, his name did actually come up in the last episode, but, people wanted to protect him, which I think shows again a very good social game, and people aren't wanting to get rid of him at the moment, so he could go far in the game, and if he does go far enough in the game, I could see him winning the game. But I do feel the best about my top 3, and he is sort of just like the best of the rest, I guess you could consider at the moment. So I'm not like the highest on his chances, but he's definitely an option for me. So the first member of the top 3 is Tiffany, and she is still getting, you know, a very, very consistent edit. It's a confusing one because, you know, in any other season I would think, you know, this is definitely our winner. But in this season I do feel like there's two people that are just beating her at the moment for winner contention. We saw in the last few episodes her name has been coming up a lot, which is what I am the most worried about. Maria wants to make the big move. Q wanted to make the move. Tevin wanted to make the move. And now even Kenzie, her number one ally, wants to make the move, which just shows, you know, she is not in a good spot. I think it's very good that she saved her idol, although I do think that just confirms that she will still be a target in the upcoming rounds. I'm just not 100% sure right now where we're going to see her end up. However, I do think she's going to be in the season for the long haul. I do think she's going to be around for a lot longer. If she makes it to the end, I could definitely see her win it. But with all the momentum around her name at the moment, I wouldn't be shocked to see people trying to get her out sooner rather than later. But will it work? That's the question. And now we have the player that's arguably been in the best position for the merge, which is Charlie. He's been in the middle of everything. I made the comparison that he's like an AI survivor player, you know. All of his answers just seem very robotic to like all the questions, and I feel like that's kind of the gameplay that he's giving me at the moment. You know, he's making the smart decisions and he's pulling the groups together and he's working with Maria and they're picking who they want to work with, which is the smart thing to be doing. And I still don't think he's seen as that big of a target. We've seen that he can win the immunity challenges, but it's just about managing his threat level. Will he be able to manage his threat level and keep playing the middle until the end? Because if he does that, then, you know, undoubtedly he deserves to win this game. But I do not really know if he's going to make it there, and I do think there's one person right now that I'm feeling better about, but I am feeling very high on his chances, although he could be another one of like Omar, Jesse, you know, the strategic player of the season who ends up going home right before the end because they get clocked as a big threat. I wouldn't be too shocked to see that happen with Charlie, but he is playing a good game so far. And he is definitely warranting this number 2 spot on the list. And number 1, once again, is Kenzie. And I don't think this is a surprise to anyone. I think right now, in the Survivor community, she is definitely the consensus winner pick for everyone. And I just think there's a strong reason as to why. I think her edit is so consistent. And even when she has absolutely nothing to do with a situation, they always get content from her, which just shows, you know, Survivor wants us to remember Kenzie. They want us to be rooting for Kenzie, and I think a lot of people are. I think she's bringing a lot to the season, which is good. I think she's in a decent spot. I don't really agree with the fact that she wanted to take out Tiffany this week, and so I do believe, as Charlie said, that would make her way too big of a target, and she's not good enough at the challenges to be able to get herself out of that scenario if she did put herself as like the biggest threat of the season. But yeah, I'm feeling very good about Kenzie's chances to win the season. She could definitely be a decoy winner. I fully wouldn't be shocked if she's out next week and everyone's scrambling, picking a new winner. But I do believe that she's in the best position to win the game. And that's why she's at number 1, of course. So there we go, another week of rankings for you all. Thank you very much for watching this video. Leave a like, subscribe. I'm hoping that I will be able to make the video next week, and hopefully I'll see you next week for the next week's rankings. Bye bye.